Really wish I had a P900. Hopefully we'll have one this week. Sorry I'm shaking so much too, but what I wanted to point out is how clearly the moon is translucent. It's tough to see with my camera here, but as I'm looking at it, clearly, you know, the craters or the man in the moon or the rabbit in the moon, whatever you want to call it, and you can kind of see it, is the same color as the sky behind it. In other words, it's morning, and that's like a light blue based on the atmosphere. If this was at night and the sky was a dark blue, as it is at night, then behind it is a dark blue. When it's a crisp blue sky, you can really see the blue behind it, like a real aqua blue. The behind the moon is the same color as the sky around it, and that should not happen in a vacuum of space. If that's up there in the vacuum of space, our atmosphere should not affect the back of the moon. And I guess I think that I'm so smart, but I'm not the only person that gets this. It's people that just think critically and just don't accept what they've been fed since they're a kid. I just don't understand why it's not easy for them to understand that if you believe what you believe since you believed it since you were a kid, and there's been no one to challenge it, or you haven't challenged it yet, then, and it could potentially be wrong, you're not doing yourself any justice. Use your eyeballs and go out and look at the moon. Right now, if I can post this fast enough, that thing moves pretty fast. It's going to depart to the west fairly quickly, and we won't see it till it circles back tomorrow. Slightly slower than the sun. Start paying attention to your celestial bodies, people. Get yourself a good camera like a P900 or a P1000, and you can prove to yourself that the earth is flat, motionless, that the celestial bodies move above us, that the planets are not planets, they're stars, just like the other stars in the sky. They're made from frequencies in water. They're in fluid, and you can see it. Been fed a lie. NASA means to lift up, to marry. As believers in the Word of God, we lift up and we marry the Son of God, Yeshua, the Messiah, the creator of the flat, geocentric earth. But them being Masonic Satanists, okay, they lift up and they marry the sun and worship it as their God. And they do that because they're Satanists, they're Luciferians. It's mocking. It's a mocking ritual. Just like the Vatican is also pagan Rome, still, always has been, that runs the world in the end of days. Just like Nebuchadnezzar's vision, just like Daniel the prophet explained to him, Rome will rule the world in the end of days. Yes, the Jesuits, the ones who started the Illuminati, right? Okay, so I say all that to say this. Study your celestial bodies. Read your scriptures, and they will tell you that we've been told a lie. We are not spinning, okay? We're motionless. If you see why I've had to move, because the placement of the moon is now in those wires. And the reason for that is that moon is moving, but we are not. We're as still as I feel. The only thing moving is my hands a little too much, but yeah, that is a translucent bulb, kind of like a light bulb that's frosted. And it's a luminary, and it's creating its own light. And that light either absorbs heat or creates cold somehow. We're going to do that experiment again, hopefully tonight. The moon's nice and big again. That things in direct moonlight are colder than things that are shaded or shielded from direct moonlight. The complete opposite of what you'd get when measuring the effects of sunlight. All right, I got to walk, keep it, and get to work, y'all. But just wanted to get some footage of this incredibly beautiful moving luminary called the moon, which is translucent and puts off its own cold light. It's not reflecting sunlight. That's absolutely stupid and ludicrous. That thing is shining bright behind me. That the sun is just now coming up and is behind the clouds. Hours ago, That sun hadn't risen yet. Yet that thing would have been about there. Or there. With the sun way behind our horizon. But yet it's not blocking any of the light. Get out of here. And you guys are going to try to, globies, you're going to try to say that that eclipse was caused by the Earth blocking the sunlight. Oh my God. Please use your heads, people. Please use your heads.